Faith has a new frequency. The Spirit of Huntsville. KHSPLP, Huntsville, Texas. Spirit 94.3.
All right, welcome in, everybody, as we get rocking and rolling. 7:32 here on a marvelous Monday. Rick, welcome in. Rick. I always have to start with Rick for some reason. Welcome in, Rick.
Good morning, Rob.
Yeah, mainly it's because I wanted to test your microphone over there. I make sure I flip the switch.
That's good.
Kay, we've moved Rick away this morning.
Yeah, I'm ostracized.
It's being very bad last week, so we had to put him in timeout.
Considering his top 10 today, he might need to be removed a little bit.
Do we need a long stick, like a poking stick from across the table this morning?
Did you see the top 10?
No.
Yes, I saw the top 10.
I'm thankful I don't get to see the top 10.
I will have words to say about the top 10.
Yeah. It's your write your own epitaph day.
Brings back memories of Oregon Trail, the old video game where you die on the trail.
Died of dysentery.
Yeah. Well, welcome in, everybody, as we get rocking and rolling. It's a great day to be here right after Easter, and we're so thankful for all of you. We want to welcome everybody in. Underwriting support for this program is made possible in part by Elliott's Jewelers. Their website is elliotsjewelers.com, and also Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools online at tomorrowspromise.info. You're seeing the back of Rick here. Rick, there you go. So Rick here today. We've moved him. Kay
He worked hard on his hair this morning.
Looks really good, Rick.
Why, thanks.
Yes,
thanks.
Beautiful.
Should I turn around and sit like
that? Yeah, give him a good wave there, Rick. Yeah, so Rick is here. And Stephanie Smith is here. She's the Executive Director of the Walker County Economic Development Corporation.
It's a mouthful.
It is. We'll say EDC going forward. But Stephanie, great to have you on this morning. Kay wanted to have you, and I said, absolutely. We always love highlighting folks here in our community and organizations. So we'll dig into that. We wanted to just jump right into the interview this morning. We've got a great Monday lined up for you, and we do want to welcome all of you also that are joining us on social media. Do us a favor, comment in, let us know that you're out there. How was your Easter? And just say hello to us. You can also text us at 936-339-0139. But Kay, I'll go ahead and just start with you this morning. I know you wanted to have Stephanie on, and maybe just give us a little kind of backstory. How did you guys meet? I know you've been attending the meetings, and then we'll talk about the EDC here in a few moments.
Let's see. I believe the first time we met, you did a presentation at Rotary.
Yep.
And bringing this idea to Huntsville and try to grow our community. And I've just started connecting and attending meetings and things like that since then.
Well, Stephanie, let us know. You're the executive director for the EDC, and I think this is so important. We always do a little pre-program prayer, and one of the prayers that I always say is, Lord, bring some good development, good jobs here to Huntsville, and you guys are, working alongside the city, but this is a countywide effort.
Correct.
With the Walker County EDC. So before we really dig into that, let us know a little bit about you and your journey here in Huntsville and all those fun things.
Oh my gosh. So I really I think one of the questions I think I've seen on your other podcast is what brought me to Huntsville, and really thought about it. And really the answer is divine intervention. I had a career, been very blessed to have a 31-year career at CenterPoint Energy. And in that 31 years, I had two great professions. I started in right-of-way under Jim Hoskins, and then kind of stumbled into economic development led by John Cook. And it was really those two leaders. They're very great leaders in their professions. But it was the shift, or I guess reorganization and merger, that led to new leadership, because they set the bar so high that I would make a career change. And same thing here. When I wrapped up my career at CenterPoint Energy, it was because we were reorganized, kind of downsized, and new leadership came in, and it was ineffective. And so it kind of made me get out of my comfort zone and shift from economic development on a utility side to a community side. And that's really where that passion kind of grew. I love doing economic development with the organizations that we supported, but really getting plugged into a community and doing it in a community that I kind of grew up in and around. I absolutely loved it. And it was challenging at the same time. There was a lot to learn, and I love learning new things. Would have probably finished my career out there, but again, an effective leadership came in, and God opened this door here, and allowed me to come to a community that really has a lot of uniqueness to it. There's so much potential here in Walker County, but it also has its challenges too, because there's so much undeveloped land. There's not a lot of infrastructure in place to really I guess, capture jobs that are moving in the market very quickly. So it has been a blessing, but it was a brand new organization. We set up the shop, from ground up, opening the doors, processes, computer systems, all of those membership levels, all of those things. So it's something that I hadn't done before. So it's been challenging, but it's been a great ride so far. And so we've kind of gotten those processes in place. We're still going to grow and change as this thing takes off and we start capturing some projects. But it's really allowed me to tap into economic development, my education, and kind of really see what we can do out here. So I'm very excited for this opportunity.
I think all of us at this table are excited, as Rick and Kay are here and myself, we're all business owners. And, Rick, I think about growth in this county, and it's exciting that we have another advocate for growth here in Walker County.
Is. I fully believe that we need to grow, but we need to grow in a controlled manner.
Yes.
Not like a cancer.
Yeah, no joke. And, I've seen, Stephanie, in the area that I grew up in Central Texas and Georgetown, there's been explosive growth there. And I like the way that our county and our city is managing growth, because I talk about it all the time. We're talking about the episodes this morning, Kay, 720 times we've sat down here. And you guys have been here divided by 5. So whatever 720 do. Rick is the 12. See, I knew Rick would know. Yeah, 12. But I think about that for real. We talk about just the culture of this community staying intact. And when you think on the county level, that is one area from the outside looking in for us as business owners. I've been hoping and praying for more industry, for more jobs to come here, and for more good income jobs to come here. Maybe, Stephanie, highlight a little bit about, the mission and the role of the EDC. I know a lot of people probably understand, what you guys do a little bit, but let us know just the full mission and what you guys were established for.
So it really is just that. We want to bring good industry here with higher paying jobs. We have 20 some odd thousand students that come through Sam Houston State University each semester, but there's nothing for them when they get their degrees. There's no industry here that really has good sustainable income. I think our average salary is below not only the national level, but the state level as well. So you really kind of want to be careful. You want to bring in industry that brings in those higher wages, but you also want to turn away those that don't have that impact. That, I could come in and apply for every job that comes through, through the state, the governor's office, through direct contact through here, through Greater Houston Partnership. But if they're not a good match for this community, if they're high pollutants, high truck traffic, lower salaries, that's not something that we want. We want to honor our heritage here, honor the families here that have grown up here, that have made livings here, and bring some diverse industry here for them to have. So when your kids, your grandkids, one day, when they have something to raise families, we want generational economic growth. When I do these presentations, we talk about sustainable and intentional. I want to be very intentional about the type of industry that we bring here. Advanced manufacturing, it's not irregular that most of the projects that come through the state of Texas are manufacturing, but there's so many different types of manufacturing: biopharma manufacturing, aerospace manufacturing. So we really want to we want to bring jobs that complement the area, but also bring really good salary paying jobs for the community as well.
I think about organizations and networking, and we're all three of us are pretty involved in the chain. You guys are really involved. I haven't been as involved as I'd like to be, just with time constraints. But Kay, the networking side, that's how y'all met. Going to a meeting, and what is that like for you, just as someone that's new to seeing the organization, to go to those network meetings? I know you've already met a lot of people and been able. Well, that's why Samantha's here today. Or sorry, yeah, that's why
okay.
She's here today.
It's an S word.
Yeah. Sorry, Stephanie.
It's okay.
I know a Samantha. I'm thinking the whole time like Samantha Smith, because I know a Samantha. I know 2 Samantha Smiths. But for you, Kay, it's been kind of neat. You've got to network with people.
Yeah, I mean, some of the meetings I've went to has talked about the airport expansion. We've got a new interstate that's going to come through town. We've got 7,000 homes being built. What are those 7,000 homes are going to have people in them? What are they going to do? So I mean, this fits into, bringing some jobs here. That's not just another restaurant. And so we need something here to keep people here, so they're not driving to Conroe and Houston all the time.
And hopefully those families that move have children, and a lot of children, which is a good driving force, because when you think about young families that want to move, what's going to attract a young family? And it's kind of like in ministry, we have to be mindful of everyone, from baby to, we're blessed here at First to have a lady that's 103 that's part of our congregation.
Oh, wow.
But you have to have that constant influx of younger people. Otherwise, just like a church, the church will eventually run out of people.
Yep.
What are some of the things on the county level that you guys are looking at right now? Maybe some things that you're trying to pursue, if those are something you can talk about.
Well, so you're absolutely right. So, and then I think when you asked me what my mission, maybe I should have said that we want to increase the economic well-being, but we also want to increase the quality of life. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we want to bring new industry in here that raises that tax base so it kind of alleviates some of your tax. So some of the things that we're trying to do is maybe develop a pocket, an industrial park, business park, along the 75 corridor. We have a lot of land that is not on the market, that landowners have come, or we've had conversations with, that said, look, we're willing to put this area up for an industrial park, business park. So that's kind of where we're concentrating. I'm not a land manager, or I'm not a land developer. That's not in my wheelhouse. So we really want to partner with a developer or broker to really develop this. And when I say business park, a lot of people think ugly, metal buildings, but I've been fortunate to see some really good economic development. The area that I came from has Generation Park. The McCord development has really been great at, it's a beautiful, beautiful development that they've taken. It's generational for their family. Mm-hmm. And so they've taken years to really develop it in a nice way. So I've taken members to this and do tours. We do industry tours. We took them out to McCord Development, Generation Park, to see what really good, sustainable development looks like. That's my vision for this community. Retail recruitment is also, it's quality of life. It's bringing in the restaurants, the retail that offers that quality of life. So when a company comes in and they're bringing in 500 employees, 2,000 employees, they need something for their families to be able to raise their families and have a sustainable, good quality of life. So economic development is kind of like the connector of all these different moving parts. We want the industry, but we want the retail. We want to make sure that we're doing it in an effective manner, in an intentional manner that offers a lot of these benefits to the community. So business parks, we're working on maybe getting some infrastructure built, like the water, the sewer. Mm-hmm. What really sets kind of this community back a little bit is that we don't have the water, the road, and a lot of these projects that are coming in are speed to market. So they need site ready. They need the dirt moved on the ground. They need a road in there. They need the water, the sewer, the electricity. So that's what we're working toward, trying to get that. It's expensive. It's not cheap. But if we can get a company to come in and invest with their capital investment, that helps move that progress along a little bit quicker. So really trying to get that infrastructure in there. And then just kind of getting to know the community, making those connections with the city, with the county, the school districts, with Sam Houston State University. Workforce is a huge topic in economic development. You're bringing in all these employees, but do we have the community? Do we have the workers, the workforce to put in there? So it's making sure that collaborating with the ISD to make sure that their CTE programs are in line with the university's program, that are in line with the types of industries that we're trying to recruit. So a lot of moving parts in what we're trying to accomplish in this first year, 2 years.
Again, Stephanie Smith joining us from the Walker County EDC this morning. Big thank you to Kay Boning here with us for introducing me to Stephanie. And I think this is great that we have another advocate for our county that is wanting to bring business. We do have a lot of people that engage with the show on the outside, and I've had numerous friends from back in my hometown say, we want to move to Huntsville because of the things that we hear about y'all's community. Mm-hmm. What would you say to that business this morning that is saying, we want to move to Huntsville, or we're looking for an area? What would make Huntsville stand out? What would you say to that business?
You have a great quality of life here in Walker County. You've got the parks, you've got the lakes, you've got the outdoor atmosphere that a lot of communities don't have. The location on I-45, we're between Dallas and Houston, so companies coming in and wanting to move their products between the two of the major markets in Texas, Dallas and Houston, we're right here. And the culture in this community, the heritage, the history, it's so rich in this community. So we have a lot of land. A lot of communities do not have the land that we have. So there's a lot of opportunities here in Walker County.
I think you mentioned something earlier, and I know Kay and Rick can attest to this too. The number one concern that I hear from people are the taxes. Mm-hmm. That seems to be the T word, is the word everyone's, especially with April 15th right around the corner. And I haven't did mine yet. But you mentioned something that's so important, that as we have more jobs and more houses, I mean, Kay, you said there's, thousands more homes that are scheduled to come in here. That increases the tax base, which will alleviate the burden, not completely, but it will help with the burden on that. Maybe highlight that a little bit more this morning, Stephanie, just how important it is for these jobs to help overall. You talked about the quality of life. Well, that's the number one concern, are the taxes. I know you guys are actively and aggressively trying to tackle that problem.
Absolutely. So when I first came and trying to learn the community, one of the things that I kept I kept hearing is that we've got the college and we've got TDCJ. And it's no secret that those properties that they own are not on the tax roll, but they've been great industries that they've not been susceptible to the oil and gas market. So they've offered really good, steady income to the community, but they don't pay taxes into the tax base. So when you bring in a company that comes in and builds, it's called capital investment. They invest to build the infrastructure, and then they bring those quality of life jobs and those good paying wages. But they're paying. You'll go from a piece of land that maybe the city or the county collects $20,000, $200,000 in property taxes, and then when they build their infrastructure and then they bring their inventory, those are also taxable commodities that are built in there. So it goes from a $200,000 property tax to a $2 million property tax that goes back into the city and the county, that they can reinvest back into the community to build those roads, to upgrade the water, the sewer, and all of those infrastructures in there. So it decreases your taxes. So while I hear a lot of negative, it is not a negative that we have Sam Houston State and TDCJ. They offer great. They're two of our top employers here in Walker County. But we're working with both of those to really try to understand what properties, are there some properties that they have that we could put back in that pool and maybe get a company to come in and purchase some of that land, and then it puts it back on the tax base. So,
well, a lot of people don't realize that having TDCJ and having the university here actually kind of recession-proofs the town.
Absolutely.
Because, when the economy is down in the rest of the United States, we hardly notice it here. Somebody might lose their job from, say, a job in Houston or something like that, but generally there is a job opening at TDC, or a lot of people will take that opportunity to go back to school. And so the enrollment at Sam Houston increases.
Absolutely.
The employment at TDCJ increases, and, we have a relatively stable economy because of those two entities. So we like to gripe because they don't pay taxes, but on the other hand, people don't realize how they recession-proof our town.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I drop, my children off, I see a lot of TDC employees that have children, and they need a place to take their children. And so you think about the impact that it makes, and it's a balancing act, right, Stephanie? You've got to balance all of this together, and you have to do it in a very fragile way, because if one thing doesn't balance equally, then all of a sudden you can have things kind of flip-flopping. And I know you guys are working hard on that as well.
Absolutely. Yep.
Well, you think about just this area. You mentioned the culture and the people, and that's what we highlight on this show. 720 episodes, we highlight the good here in Huntsville. I think this is important to have the EDC, working alongside the city. Maybe talk a little bit about that collaboration a little bit, because you guys get to work directly with the city. And that's something that I think sometimes there's these narratives that form just because one person says it and then everybody says it. And I always hear, well, so-and-so's not working with the city or this. I haven't heard that with you guys. But what I see on the outside is we have a very great mayor and Mayor Humphrey who is working hard. We have great leaders in our community who are working hard. And so, I don't listen to a lot of what I hear on some things because I see organizations working with our city, and I've seen you guys doing that, and I think there's a great collaboration there. So I wanted you to kind of highlight that a little bit.
And great leadership is what brought me here. That's what has sustained really early on in my career, I got to see really good, effective leadership. And when I sat at the table and interviewed for this job, you had the mayor, you had the judge, the county judge, and then you had Sam Houston State University, and then industry partners like Krista Miliano that were coming together. And you don't see that a lot in a community. You see the municipalities fighting against each other and fighting against the EDC. It truly is a collaborative effort. The city has done economic development on a city level, but they haven't done it on a county level. And so when I think the way this organization came about is Sam Houston State was going through applying for a grant, and the county and the city were at the table, and they realized that they needed an industry leader. So they invited Steely Lumber in. And so Dr. White took this group to Clarksville, Tennessee to show them what good, effective economic development looked like. And so that's where this came about. So they didn't shut down economic development within the city. They just transferred the majority of that to Walker County EDC. They have hired an economic development coordinator. She's a rock star. She's a Sam Houston State graduate. I think she got her master's up in, she's going to kill me, I think it was Ohio, but came back to Huntsville because she loved this community. She's not originally from here, but got her bachelor's from here. So she and I work very closely together. I love the fact that she's in the city because she gets to see the whole process behind the scenes. So whenever I need, a question, hey, what water or what sewer do you have there? Pick up the phone. She's very responsive to me. So I've gotten a lot of support from the city, and I've got a lot of support from the county and the commissioners, and really making sure that this economic development is successful. We're a membership-based organization. I don't get any tax base like a lot of the communities that were able to collect sales tax from 4A, 4B. I'm membership-based. So my budget is dependent upon my members. So the city and the county both have stepped up, and Sam Houston State have stepped up in a big way, and are my top contributors, some of my top contributors, as did Steely Lumber and a number of other founding members. And Tomorrow's Promise is a member as well. So I appreciate that.
I did want to give you an opportunity. We got just a few more minutes. Again, Stephanie Smith joining us. She's the executive director of the new Walker County EDC. Really, I was talking to Mac Woodward a while back, and he said really over like the last 6 months, you guys have really gained a lot of steam, and there's meetings that people can attend. And so maybe this morning somebody is watching and saying, hey, I'd like to come. I'd like to hear what this is all about. Give us some information, if you don't mind, on how people can connect with you.
So right now we hold our board meetings the first Thursday of the month, and they are open to the public. If you're interested, you can email me at stephanie@walkercountyedc.com. We have a website, walkercountyedc.com. If you have an organization that I can come out and do a presentation, I'm very transparent. What you see is what you get. I'm not going to feed you a line of a bull. I will tell you what we're working on. You may not know the exact project names that we're working on because that is confidential information, but I'm happy to tell you what our vision is, what we're working for, and I'm actually, welcome a lot of feedback. This is the community that's been generational for a lot of the folks. So I'd like to hear what you want. But if you have an organization that I can get out in front of, do some presentations, let you know what we're doing, what's coming up, kind of the projects that we're working on, I'm happy to present. But really through the website or my email is one of the two best ways. Or you can text me.
One thing that I discovered a while back, because somebody had talked about the 7 Brew coffee coming to Huntsville. Oh, yeah. And I said, how? Where? I said, I can't find that anywhere. And then somebody on social media put this out, Kay, and the whole town got excited about this. And I said, where did they find out about this? Because, I'm in the meeting, and I have a coming soon section. That's a big popular part of our website. And I discovered the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation.
Yep.
And apparently, some of these buildings have to file with that
Yes.
now.
Yep.
And so I did a Google search, or I did a search, not a Google search. I did a search on here, and I just typed in Huntsville, and all this stuff started popping up. Then I'm like, ooh, we're getting a Dunkin' Donuts inside of Walmart, you know? So there are avenues, you know, to find some things. And once those go public, you know, it's public information. But you're right. There are a lot of projects of organizations that come into town that we don't ever know about
Right.
because they want to keep things confidential. You think about this, Kay, like if someone wants to relocate from California, they don't want the word of that getting out because then think of all those employees that they currently have. You know, Zinner was telling me about that when they decided to
Exactly.
move here. They didn't want to like let that be known until the decision had been made because you don't want people worried about, well, what's going to happen to my job.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate, you know, you guys just taking care of business and really focusing on helping to grow our county. Okay, maybe any final questions? Again, I appreciate you for introducing all of us, not just me, but our audience here this morning to Stephanie.
I'm just excited that the county and the city are, you know, and the university, they're all working together to the betterment of all. I mean, they don't want a heavy polluting industry coming in, you know, and that they're being very strategic in what they look for.
Yeah, and being mindful of the resources, which I think
Absolutely.
is really good too. Rick, maybe any final thoughts from the Rick Boning over here?
Other than I took your chair, apparently.
Not a big deal.
That's okay. Like I said, he was in trouble this
I
morning.
mean, there's not much difference from the back of my head to the front of my head. My thoughts?
Yeah.
I just appreciate what Stephanie's doing here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Stephanie, we appreciate you. Please send us any information, and you know, we'll try to connect with you guys as well. I was just saying earlier, we finally have a producer starting next week for the show, so I'm really excited about that, and we want to be more involved through what we're doing here over the FM airwaves. That's why the LPFM exists. Our low power license is to focus on community, and that's why we wanted this segment to be out over the FM radio. Well, Stephanie, maybe just a final thought from you then before we wrap up today. Thank you again for being here.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity. I stumbled into economic development over 20 years ago, and it's so incredible for me. It's something about making an impression on a community and bringing in, you know, when my daughter was young, one of my first projects when I got in was the Daikin project, and to be able to drive along 249 and show her as it's coming up into construction, hey, your mom had a hand in that. So it's very rewarding. You know, I'm very mindful. I grew up in a small community, and so you never want to change the overall structure of a community. You want to keep it impact, and I'm just very excited to be here in a community that has great culture, great heritage, great history. The community has been very open, and so I really appreciate that. And the I guess the what's the word I'm looking for? Faith that they're putting in me.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but I love it, and I'm very thankful to be here. So thank you for having me and letting me talk about something I'm very passionate about.
You bet. Well, one thing that you'll learn, as all three of us can attest, is this community will lift you up if you're down.
Absolutely.
And you need help. That's what I love about Huntsville is people are not shy of offering. They're not shy of volunteering you either.
Yes.
So, but of helping. So, well, we appreciate you. Again, you can find out more information online. Super easy to get to the website, WalkerCountyEDC.com. And if you're a business this morning thinking about Huntsville, well, here is your word: come to Walker County, not just Huntsville, but all over the county. We got
Hurry.
a lot of room. So
Absolutely.
So hurry up and get on down here and get the rest of it. This is what we always say, Rick. So we'll take a break. And for those of you on Spirit 94.3, we're going to go back to music and programming, but we still got a lot to do today. So hang out with us as we continue and let us know that you're out there. Many of you are commenting in, and we'd love to continue to hear from you. For now, though, we'll take a break. More to come. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville, and we'll be right back after this. Stay with us.
Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools believe in creating spaces where children can learn, grow, and use their imaginations. At any Tomorrow's Promise location, children enjoy the largest playgrounds in town. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori is a fun school where every child learns at their own pace, and mastery of a concept is expected before moving on to the next concept. At Tomorrow's Promise, every child is respected, loved, and nurtured for the unique individual that they are.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tomorrowspromise.info for more information. Education you can trust. This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Are you ready for a better way to bank? Join Walker County Federal Credit Union today. As a member, you'll enjoy low-cost loans, no annual fees, and easy online access. We're not just a credit union. We're a community dedicated to your financial success. Experience friendly service tailored for just you. Why wait? Join us online at walkercountyfcu.com or drop by our location at 1802 Normal Park Drive, Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Hey friend, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. The new year is here, and what a better way to start out the new year than celebrating the moments that matter the most. And you can do that with Elliott's Jewelers here in Huntsville. Whether it's an engagement, an anniversary, a birthday, or maybe just a fresh start, Elliott hand selects every diamond, and he creates meaningful pieces that are designed just for you. There's no crowded showroom, no pressure, just personal attention and jewelry that tells your story. So again, start the new year with something timeless. It's Elliott's Jewelers here in Huntsville by appointment only. Book online at elliotsjewelers.com. Hey friends, this is Rob Hipp, and I'm here to talk about a true expert in the real estate world. Let me introduce you to my good friend, Terry Coleman of the Coleman Realty Group.
With 33 years in the business, I've dedicated my life to making your real estate dreams come true. Specializing in residential properties, I serve Walker and Montgomery counties, from Spring to Trinity and areas all around.
They call her your next door agent, and here's why.
I'm not just here to help you find a home or lease a property. I'm here to build lifelong relationships. Whether it's residential or commercial, farm or ranch listings, there's something for everyone.
Now you might wonder, what sets Terry apart from other real estate agents? Well, it's simple. She goes above and beyond for her clients, like the time she surprised a family from California with a fully decorated Christmas tree and gifts when they returned from closing. You shouldn't have to compromise on the joys of home during life-changing moments. So, if you're ready to make your real estate dreams come true, here's what you need to do.
Visit my website at myrealtorterry.com and let's make those dreams a reality.
That's Terry Coleman, your expert in all things real estate.
I'm Terry Coleman, your next door agent, and I can't wait to help you open the door to your new life.
Hey friend, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. The new year is here, and what a better way to start out the new year than celebrating the moments that matter the most. And you can do that with Elliott's Jewelers here in Huntsville. Whether it's an engagement, an anniversary, a birthday, or maybe just a fresh start, Elliott hand selects every diamond, and he creates meaningful pieces that are designed just for you. There's no crowded showroom, no pressure, just personal attention and jewelry that tells your story. So again, start the new year with something timeless. It's Elliott's Jewelers here in Huntsville by appointment only. Book online at elliotsjewelers.com.
Normally reserved for the top 10, but we wanted to bring it back aggressively.
Yeah, I wondered. That sounded like top 10 music to me.
We wanted to switch it up and get people, oh, what's going on? Change things. It's like here at church, once a month, we'll kind of change the order of something just to keep people on their toes.
Does it work?
Yeah.
If I'm on my toes, I usually fall over.
That's why we do it. We have put bumpers on the pews now. We still have pews here.
What a great idea.
Yeah, so the pews are in. Well, hey, welcome back, everybody, as we continue on. Great interview just a few moments ago, by the way, with Miss Stephanie Smith from the EDC. Thanks again, Kay, for bringing her on. Awesome insight to a lot of going on here in the county.
Well, thank you.
Well, it is my second favorite segment. Every segment's my favorite. And so this is my next favorite segment. Is that the way to say it, Rick?
No.
My next favorite?
They're all favravorites.
Okay, so this is
my favorite segment.
My favorite segment.
There you go.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm kind of feel a little second class here.
Well, that's why I was saying, I didn't want to leave Stephanie out because that was a great segment.
Yeah.
So
they're all your favorites.
Yeah.
Just who's going to know?
Just say Monday's your best.
Yeah, Monday is our best, is our favorite day. This is this is the time that we move into something really important because we want folks. Part of why we do this every week is just to lift people up, and it is now time for Monday Mindset with Kay Boning. And so, Kay, what do you have for us today?
So, you need to choose growth over comfort. Growth is uncomfortable. There's really no way around that. If you're growing, you're stretching. If you're stretching, it's going to feel awkward sometimes. And most of us don't naturally run towards discomfort. We avoid it. We stay where we feel things are familiar, predictable, and safe. But the problem is that's also where we stay the same. I mean, no businesses would ever get started. Nothing. If you just stay the same course.
I used to say, Kay, that you let people excel within their comfort zone. And I had this mindset, and it definitely was not a Kay's mindset because it was don't force people out of their comfort zone because you're setting them up for failure. And that is so wrong. What you can do is lead people to the edge of that comfort zone and let them go over just a little bit. Don't force them all the way out of it.
So you don't push them?
Yeah, you don't push them. You just kind of elbow them a little bit. And I've changed my thinking over that, in the last 4 or 5 years, because how are you going to grow if you're not stretching yourself?
Yeah. So Robin Sharma talks about how the best version of you lives just outside of your comfort zone. And I found that to be true over and over again. The moments that have grown me the most were not the easy ones. They were the ones that challenged me. So why growth requires discomfort? Comfort keeps you where you are. There's nothing wrong with comfort until it starts holding you back. If nothing ever challenges you, nothing really changes.
That comfort keeps you where you are is why a lot of people stay in bed.
I didn't want to get up this morning.
So the challenge is get an uncomfortable bed, and then you'll start getting up.
I have an uncomfortable wife. Get up!
Yeah, I had to wake him up this morning.
I didn't go to bed till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, man. All right.
I'm old.
So discomfort is a sign of progress. When something feels new or difficult, it usually means you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
That's not failure. That's growth happening in real time. And that's sad. I mean, there's so many people that have never picked up a book since they graduated from high school.
Yeah, wow.
That have just quit learning. And that's just sad. I mean, I'm learning something new every day.
I would say even if you don't love like I'm really not like a person who loves to read, but I like to read. If I can pick up a book, I've been reading just a couple of pages a day. Now I read the Bible, but outside of that, I like to read just a couple of pages. And I'm learning just from picking up, and reading 1 or 2 pages of something. So if you don't love reading, still pick up a book and read a page or 2. It's going to help you.
I have an entire library on here.
So growth builds confidence. Every time you step into something uncomfortable and get through it, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Your growth challenges for the week. So what you focus on is do one hard thing. Choose something slightly uncomfortable and do it anyway. This expands your comfort zone.
I'm trying to think of one hard thing this week.
It doesn't have to be real hard. Just something just outside your comfort zone. Like holding your breath for 45 minutes.
Well, then you're going to flatline. And you're going to have to call HMH.
So the other thing is reframe discomfort. When something feels hard, remind yourself this is growth. It changes your perspective. And then keep going. Don't quit just because it feels uncomfortable. This builds resilience and strength. You don't have to jump into something huge. Just take one step outside of your comfort zone.
These thoughts this morning, Kay, if you don't mind, I wanted to interject after this, because how many of us out there or in here, we work or we own a place to where we have ideas and we'd like to change things a little bit sometimes. That's part of growth, is changing. And sometimes you have this core highway that you go on, but every once in a while you got to go on a little off ramp and you got to discover other things to help continue to keep your business going. And something I've learned, especially being in ministry, is we have to be open to new ideas to engage with people. But human nature sometimes gets in the way and says, well, if we do that, this is going to happen. And what do? You get uncomfortable. And I think it's so important this morning that we don't get defensive when somebody has a new idea about the way that something should go. And just give it a try. Work together as a team. And I found that in ministry because I'm kind of old school. Like, I don't like things to change a whole lot. I said, this is and I'm not just saying here, but I'm saying in general. I've seen it across the board. And for those that are willing to try new things, you don't know unless you try.
But that's the way we've always done it.
Yeah, and you have to. You have to be open to new ideas. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. But you have to look at the bigger picture. And if it doesn't work, you know what the great thing is? You can just go right back and try something else. And I've learned to not be defensive, whether it's things in ministry or in business. People come into Hello Huntsville and give me ideas, Kay, and they're good ideas. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. And if it doesn't work, so what? I'll go and try something else. So that was kind of my thought as you were reading these this morning.
Yeah, I think basically part of my problem is I have too many new ideas at once.
Yeah, she gets about a third of the way through her idea, and she has another one. Bing, bing. It's like, remember the old cartoon Ricochet Rabbit?
Yes. This is a Monday Mindset in 10 weeks. We're going to have on how to slow down on the idea. Here's your how to slow down on ideas. No, I'm just kidding. Kay.
Yeah, so I have several half-built bridges.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even half-built.
Or a quarter-built. But, I was like, oh, yeah, I get a new idea, and, I want to go do that. And I, like I said, I have too many new ideas, so I have to sometimes have people slow me down.
Yeah, but I was just thinking that I just had a visual though, and this is important for somebody out there watching or listening this morning, that there may be somebody else that needs you to build that bridge halfway because they've got a vision on how maybe it should finish. Mm-hmm. And I think it's so important to never just stop on an idea because you feel that it's not going to work, or maybe you have a lot going on. Yes, you need to it's hard to organize, but at the same token, the ideas that you have could empower somebody else that they needed you to be that rocket fuel to get that going.
Oh, I have a great team. That's why, some things get accomplished that from ideas.
Yeah.
It was funny with the third location. When we first started it, it was we didn't have enough students. And then we had too many students. And then it was like, well, we don't have enough teachers. And then it was like, well, and so it was kept switching on, why are you building a third location? It won't work. We don't have students. Or it won't work. We don't have teachers. There was always this, it won't work. And I'm like, you can't build something based on what's going on today. Mm-hmm. You have to build something like that based on what's going to go on in the future. And that's kind of like, I know there's, all these homes coming, and I knew that when we first started building Academy. Mm-hmm. But we went through several swings of, there's always a balance between how many students you have and how many teachers you have. And there's, if you enroll a couple of more students, then you have to hire a teacher. And then, it just, there's always this ebb and flow. And, school starts in the fall and you have a bunch of pre-Kers that go off to first grade and things like that. So, there's this ebb and flow, but then there's this planning, and you have to sometimes take those jumps and take those risks and push the envelope.
And now with the EDC here in Walker County, in 5 years, we're just going to be overflowing. So that's great.
Have to open 3 more schools.
Yeah.
So I have a final thought. If you want something different, you have to be willing to do something different. This week, don't run from discomfort. Lean into it just enough to grow. Because on the other side of that discomfort is a stronger version of you.
Yeah, that's good. I'm telling you, friends, this is why we do this on Monday, and I really want people to focus on these segments very much, because the whole point of it is growing. That's why we wanted to do this. Kay had this idea. We used to call it Kay's Wednesday Wisdom, and then we switched to Monday, and I think it's been great. We see a lot of views on our website, and people go into these and listen. Go back and listen and really challenge yourself on what you hear on these Mondays. I've challenged myself. And we take in so much information every day, Kay, then we don't realize that sometimes we go back a few days later and we don't even think about why we reacted in a certain way, but it's because of something that we took in earlier. And so I just want to encourage people to continue to engage and really focus on ways that you can grow. And the growth is important because it's not just for you, it's for your family. And I've been, especially with children now, I've really learned to step outside of my comfort zone, and it's not easy. But I want to challenge my children as well. Coming up at noon, we've got something really historic happening. NASA is going to be live streaming the lunar flyby today as the Artemis mission continues on, the farthest that humans have ever been. And I've used this as a teaching opportunity. My son is so into this now, and he keeps talking about the spaceship. And, at 2.5, about to be 3 in July, those are the things that, to me, is like, I'm uncomfortable thinking about wanting to go into space. Here's my little boy that's like, he's getting these ideas now about his future already at 2.5. Now, I'm not telling him to go be an astronaut or anything like that, but I'm trying to do things to continue to educate my children and show them that there's this world of possibilities and that it's okay to stretch your imagination and to think about things. My little girl was so scared about getting eardrops in her ear. I know this is kind of a random topic, but she was uncomfortable doing that. And so we thought of some ideas to make it to where she wouldn't be scared. Now she wants the eardrops. And we're like, Braylon, you don't need them anymore. Now she'll lay in bed. She's like, eardrops, Daddy? Like, no. But once you stretch that comfort a little bit, it becomes comfortable. And then you can move on to the next thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
my daddy one time told me that he said he never could see himself being as strong as I was. And I didn't, I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you have done so much and gone through so much, and you are so strong. And he says, I could never have done all that. And, from my dad, I was like, he's the picture of strength, and he's got this successful business, and he's done all these things, and, everybody looked up to him. And I mean, his funeral was packed.
Because he was 6 foot.
Well, yeah. 6'4". But I mean, to hear that from him, that I was strong, I was like, I never envisioned that I was strong about anything. But, some of these things of being uncomfortable and going and pushing through something, was one of the things he was talking about.
And it's so cool at the end when you push through that, right? And then you look back and you're like, man, I'm so glad I did that.
Oh, I'm so glad when I was 14 years old, I didn't have any earthly idea what my whole life was going to be like. Because I would have looked at it going, oh, no.
Yeah.
No way I could do that. At 14, you would not have caught me doing this at all.
Yeah. I think it's incredible, and so that's the challenge today, friends, is just step a little bit outside that comfort zone and allow people to carry you. We mentioned earlier in this community, people aren't going to let you fail. The only way they're going to let you fail is if you totally shut them out.
When I first met her, she wouldn't have been able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was saying. No, I would not have. And that was even, when I was 40, I wouldn't have gotten on here.
Yeah. And as you've said on the show numerous times over these last 3 years, you never knew that you didn't ever imagine children, and now look, now you've got, that was God saying, ha, and now you've got 3 locations.
Neener.
And a very successful, program that our children are enrolled in. And I'm still just amazed, at how fast our children are advancing just in reading. Like Braylon writing the alphabet. I wasn't writing the alphabet at 4 years old. She's writing letters, and she loves doing it. And now she can spell her name. And my dream and desire is that my children will go 1,000,000 times farther than I ever dreamed of going. That's what I want.
Braylon has a whole lot more letters than I'd had.
Yeah, and she's got it down. And so, that's a good thing. Well, hey, let's take a break. It is a great Monday here, a marvelous Monday. Time now is 8:25, and we will have that official top 10. We may have to move Rick back into the other seat here in a minute because of this top 10 from what I've heard.
Oh.
Yeah. So, Kay, get the 10-foot stick ready, and we'll take a break.
39.5-foot pole.
Yeah. Give us the teaser. What is it this week, Rick?
It's write your own epitaph.
Uh-oh. Oh, I'm kind of nervous about this one. Nah, I'm not. We'll take a break.
Yeah, he's got one.
We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. It's your show, Good Morning Huntsville, brought to you by Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. We'll be back in just a moment as we continue on. Stay with us.
At Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, we're not just a place where children pass the time. We are not a daycare. We are a child care center focused on the growth, learning, and discovery. Every day, children engage in meaningful activities that build confidence, independence, and a love for learning. From reading and math to social and practical life skills, our students are active participants in their development. Ready to give your child something more? Visit tomorrowspromise.info and discover what makes our school different. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Education you can trust.
Hey friend, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. The new year is here, and what a better way to start out the new year than celebrating the moments that matter the most. And you can do that with Elliott's Jewelers here in Huntsville. Whether it's an engagement, an anniversary, a birthday, or maybe just a fresh start, Elliott hand selects every diamond, and he creates meaningful pieces that are designed just for you. There's no crowded showroom, no pressure, just personal attention and jewelry that tells your story. So again, start the new year with something timeless. It's Elliott's Jewelers here in Huntsville by appointment only. Book online at elliotsjewelers.com. Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Are you ready for a better way to bank? Join Walker County Federal Credit Union today. As a member, you'll enjoy low-cost loans, no annual fees, and easy online access. We're not just a credit union. We're a community dedicated to your financial success. Experience friendly service tailored for just you. Why wait? Join us online at walkercountymfcu.com or drop by our location at 1802 Normal Park Drive, Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Faith has a new frequency. The Spirit of Huntsville. KHSPLP, Huntsville, Texas. Spirit 94.3.
Hi, I'm Kanan. No, listening to Spirit Radio.
And now it's that moment you've all been waiting for here on a marvelous Monday, live from Studio 1229J. In the heart of Bat Capital, USA, 2 million of them ready to roost. It's time for Rick. Oh.
Did you get me in there?
For Rick.
And Kay's
Top 10. Rick, in the words of my friend Johnny Canales and Kay, you've got it. Take it away.
Waiting.
I just try to keep it entertaining, with the new intros.
Well, Rick, today is National Plan Your Epitaph Day.
A beautiful reminder that even your tombstone needs good wording.
And in some cases, heavy editing.
Wow, I feel like this is already becoming personal.
It is, because today we're comparing the epitaphs Rick would choose versus the ones Kay would actually approve.
So basically, my ideas go through a final review process.
Yes, even in death.
So here's the top 10 epitaphs Rick would have versus
Kay would approve.
Number 10, Rick would have gone fishing.
He has finally stopped wandering off.
Number 9, Rick would have I was everybody's favorite.
He was confident, if nothing else.
Number 8, Rick would have I regret nothing.
And I would approve. Several people regret plenty on his behalf.
Number 7, I would have tell them I was right.
And I would approve. That seems unlikely, but bless his heart.
Rick would have I lived life my way.
And I would say with limited supervision and mixed results.
I feel the love here. Rick would have he meant well.
And I would say that is probably the fairest possible summary.
Rick would have gone too soon.
He was here exactly as long as necessary.
Number 3, I would have had out of office.
Unavailable at last.
And the number 2, I would have had legend.
I like that one.
I would approve locally discussed.
And the number 1 thing I would have is the man, the myth, the icon.
And I would approve. He had a lot of confidence.
Yours all sound less like epitaphs, more like performance reviews.
That's because some people need closure, Rick, and some people need accuracy, and I know exactly what yours is going to say.
I was going for memorable.
No, you're going to say, I'm fine, really.
I tell her that all the time when I'm sick. So there was our top 10.
Mine will say, no credit?
Don't sweat it.
Don't sweat it. No. I don't know what mine would say. Is that still a thing? You don't really see epitaphs anymore, do you? Not a whole lot?
No, they just usually have the birth and death dates.
Mine would say C dash.
C dash?
See the dash. Yeah, review the dash. Because the dash is the most important part on the tombstone.
Oh, okay.
The dash represents everything.
All those years in between.
Yeah, the most minuscule thing. Somebody, there's always somebody, Kay, that you try to come up with something that you feel like's good and intellectual and all that. And I heard this from a pastor about the dash. And so I thought it was really good, and I was sharing it with somebody. And then, of course, there's always that one, well, what about the ones that don't have a dash? I'm like, come on, man, just pretend it has a dash then. There's always that one that has to ruin the good ideas.
See, my dash is going to be like 7 lines long.
It's going to be Morse code.
SOS.
Yeah, 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. You know what, though? I mean, it's something that we talk about a lot on Friday, obviously, with Billy and Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. But it's as I get older, I'm not going to go down this trail very long, but as I get older, and I wanted to say this because I feel it on my heart, as I've gotten older, and I feel like I've grown in my faith, that obviously I don't want to pass away anytime soon. I want to see my children grow up. But death is no longer one of those things that I fear. And what I fear is my children not having a father growing up. That's the thing that I fear. And I've learned it's through faith that I don't fear death anymore. And I used to be so scared. You know, as a child, I guess because my mother was a nurse, that I was so scared of something happening to me because I read her nursing book and saw all these terrible things in her books.
If you've ever read biology books, you wonder how anybody's alive.
Yeah, and I was like, Mom, and I used to be a hypochondriac. Is this wrong with me? She's quit reading my books. You're fine. But as I've gotten older, I realized that that there's something far greater than any of this. That any of this that's on this earth right now. And I'm so thankful that the Lord gives us glimpses of heaven. He really does, because we see miracles every day. We see people's lives changed, and sometimes radically, sometimes in really small ways. But I want people to pause this morning and don't take for granted the blessings that we have, especially as we come out of Easter.
Amen.
Yeah.
Because it is, we get so wrapped up every day in, well, why isn't this happening? And what about this? And what about, so what? It's like I said earlier, we were talking about the Monday mindset, so what? If it doesn't, then you just start again. But it's just been on my heart a lot. And I've been thinking, I was talking to my mom about that the other day. And, it's just one of those things that obviously I don't want to talk it into existence. I don't want anything to happen to me. But when that day comes and I'm called home, like, I look forward to that day. I was telling my mom the other day, I said, Mom, I'm just ready. I said, nothing's going on with me. So I didn't want to make her nervous, but I said, I'm just ready for the Lord to come, because there's just so much going on in this world. And she said, well, why are you saying that? You don't want I said, yes, I do. You should want that too, Mom. We got into this long conversation about it. But I said, I really don't want it. I don't want to fear any of that. And I said, I really don't. And so, I don't know. It's just a message for somebody today, maybe that's a little, that's not feeling well. Maybe something's going on in your life. Know that in a relationship with Christ, that you don't have to fear death. And
well, if you're really worried about your children, we can be the godparents.
Yeah.
We went to a conference one time, and one of the assignments was to write our own eulogy.
Wow.
And that's
it's a lot harder than you might think.
That's getting out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, but the thing is what do you want to be remembered for? So, when you stop and think about what do you want people to say about you when you die, then, and you write that down, then you start trying to live your life to be what that eulogy will be.
Yeah.
But if you just go through life with, not even thinking about anything, then, you don't have any goals or things to... a purpose.
Mm-hmm. Years ago, I'll never forget. I'd went to my great aunt's funeral with my grandmother. We had went. And
We had gone.
What did I say? We had went.
Yeah. That's that East Texas thing coming out there.
That's the ignorant grammar that I have. The ignorant. We went. We had gone.
There you go.
To my great aunt's funeral. Now, Brian from Fargo's listening. It's pronounced aunt, but I say aunt.
I'd say aunt, too, because I grew up in West Texas.
We went, and Kay, as you were speaking, this brought out something that I remember. And again, it's so neat how our mind works sometimes, how we remember things. That, like I was saying earlier, as we read a page or two, or even on the Monday mindset, sometime during the week, something's going, I heard that on the show. We never know how these little tidbits of things that we hear and take in every day are going to come back to us. But I remember being at that funeral and the man preaching. I don't remember who the man was, but I remember him saying that Dorothy never had anything negative to say about anybody. She never spoke ill of anybody. She never talked about anybody unless it was something good. And I started thinking, boy, I've messed up because I've been upset at people before, and, you know, especially when I was younger and rambled off about so-and-so and this and that. And ever since then, I've strived to be like my Aunt Dorothy, and I never really knew her. It was my grandpa's sister. But we went to the service, and I'll never forget, after that moment, anytime I start thinking about saying something because I'm upset about something to somebody else, I'm reminded of that moment. Isn't that strange? You know?
No, that's great.
And I was in my 20s when we, like 23, 24 maybe when I went. I don't remember my age.
And yet you still say it.
Yeah, I just said it. Can you believe what Rick did, okay? Guy over there. But no, I'm serious. And so it's always important to be mindful of that. And I don't know, it's just something neat. That's why I love doing this show, because it just stirs up things that I've forgotten about. And I'm like, hey, I remember that. You know, it's pretty cool. So anyways, a couple of other days today that it is, and we'll stay here on this segment. National Fresh Tomato Day today.
Yeah, I saw that one. But
I mean, who would want a rotten tomato? Is there a National Rotten Tomato Day?
I don't know. Maybe we should look it up.
Fresh tomato. You a tomato guy?
Yeah, I like tomatoes.
Okay, tomato lady?
No.
She didn't even like ketchup. I mean, I don't think she's actually American.
I will eat ketchup occasionally.
She will not.
I like a good fried green tomato.
I've never had a fried green tomato, but I'd eat it.
It sounded terrible, and then at a restaurant, they said, oh, we have the best fried green tomatoes. And I tried it. Excellent.
Are they battered?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've got the bread on. Oh, it's so good. Very good.
I've seen them. I've just never had one.
Yeah, they're good. We're going to bring one in a couple of weeks. Rick.
Are you?
Nah.
I hope you don't cook it now and bring it in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Then it'll be a rotten tomato. Hey, it's National Employee Benefits Day today. Some corporations trying to make some money today.
Yeah.
And then also, this is a weird one. Because there's a lot of, we don't get controversial on this show, but there is some controversy around this one. Especially after the Rotary meeting when Trinity, the TRA, showed up. Today is National Teflon Day today. And were y'all at that Rotary meeting?
We were.
When the Trinity River Authority was there, and now there are new things that they have to do. And I mean, if they're just tiny particles of that stuff, they have to spend so much money trying to...
Well, it's not good to have in your system, so I can see why.
And I think she said that like 99% of us have Teflon in our bodies.
Yeah. And microplastics and all kinds of...
So it's I don't know why today would be a day. Oh, National Teflon! Can't wait to get more of that. But anyways, who invented Teflon? Was it?
That's a DuPont thing.
DuPont. Yeah. Yikes. Okay. Well, there you go. It's National Teflon Day, so celebrate the non-stick in your life. I need to spray some Teflon on me sometimes. Oh, goodness. Well, Kay, we're about to wrap up here in just a few moments. I so appreciate you guys. Maybe just, yesterday I know there was a lot of Easter services around. I saw y'all's picture. Y'all had a great service at University Heights. And what a wonderful time of the year to go back and reflect on just gratitude.
I agree.
I come out of Easter on gratitude. What was the service like for you guys yesterday, Rick?
I slept through it.
That's why I like asking Rick these questions.
No, I was there. Dr. Rogers did a great surgery.
Yeah. Did y'all have a chance to go out to the fairgrounds for any of the...
I'm allergic to horses and cows and straw, so I try to avoid it. And she's sweet enough to not to go without me.
Yeah, we didn't get to get out. We had our booth there, and I wanted to share this real quick. This is just incredible. Because I think so many times we try to do all these different things to plant seeds, I guess. It's not that it's a negative thing, but there's so many things that we try to do. And I'm so appreciative of Linda McKenzie and her husband, Jim. Jim has the stick ministry. He gives away sticks, and he shares the gospel as he gives those away. And so this year at the fairgrounds, we have the National Day of Prayer booth. Right when you walk in and purchase your tickets, the booth is there. And Linda had said, hey, do you mind if Jim comes and does the sticks? I said, no, that would be great. Mm-hmm. And we've had that booth for a couple of years, and it's mainly just been an informational booth. That booth this year turned into a transformational booth.
That's great.
Wonderful.
Linda had told me, in fact, let me see if I can pull this up. It made me feel like, man, I need to figure some things out about how I'm witnessing to people. Because here's what, let me see if I can find this real quick. She sent this to me, and here's what she said. It was she sent me photos too, by the way. She said it was a great week of the men, because there's men out there too, from I don't know if it's Hospitality House. I think some of the guys go out and help out, but there's an organization that goes with Jim and does this. But she said it was a great week of men sharing Christ with kids and adults. Listen to this. In excess of 400 sticks were given away. Now, that's pretty amazing to begin with. But here's the main reason that I wanted to bring this up. 150 people accepted Christ.
Wow.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's little mini revival right there.
Unbelievable. And I'm just so thankful for Linda and her husband. And I think that this is a challenge to all of us as believers that I'm not comparing or putting anyone in down, but it stirred my heart that I really need to be more bold about my faith. Linda was telling me that her husband has led people to Christ all over the place. At the gas station, he'll be in the line at the grocery store and lead someone to the Lord. And I think, what a tremendous man. And I'm so thankful for them. And think of the lives and the impact.
Yeah.
Just being at a booth, handing out a stick and sharing a story. Isn't that incredible? And so I wanted to bring that up this morning. Well, hey, we are about to wrap up. Busy week as we're through Easter. And now, Kay, spring is here, and I know things really slow down for you guys at Tomorrow's Promise, right? This is the time of the year where things get really slow, right? A lot of relaxing and just kind of taking it easy.
What kind of drugs are you on? Because there's like one day out of the year I think is slow.
Yeah.
That might be December 27th.
Yeah. No, things definitely not slowing down. You guys are getting ready you're already thinking about the summer and a lot going on. And I know the kids got to go out to the fairgrounds too. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, getting to take them out there is pretty neat. Do y'all get to do a lot of those field trips? Do y'all do that quite a bit?
For the little ones, we only do the fairgrounds. Take them out for the rodeo. It's very...
it's like herding cats.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. And for example, I heard from a parent that was with another school group,
mm-hmm.
and they said 3 children wandered over to their group, and they were there for about an hour.
Good. Nice.
Before the teacher from the group noticed their children was missing and went looking for them and found them in her
That
group.
wasn't our group.
Was not. This was
Yeah.
a parent volunteering at one of the schools.
Wow.
And so, like we had very strict rules. Parents went, but it's like, if you will stay with our group, you will not take them off anywhere. If you are going to take your child, they take off our shirt, and they are now your responsibility. I mean, we had all kinds of rules. The neat thing was I heard back from several people in the community about how well behaved our children were.
Oh, I love that.
And I also heard that our group was the only one that told the hay ride drivers thank you.
Wow. Oh, I love that.
And that we were doing a good job teaching our children manners. And
Yes.
things.
I can attest to that because my children always say thank you and please and all that.
But, when I heard that one story from that parent, the field trip she went with, I was like, oh, my goodness, that because you trust people when you take them off on a field trip like that they're going to watch your children and count and make sure that they have this.
We wear them children out counting them.
It's like from one, you stop at one, when you go through a doorway, or from one event to the other one, attraction or whatever, you count before you leave, you count as you're going, you count when you get there, you count after, while they're watching.
I've seen you guys do it at different things,
and you just count because they're so easy to lose.
They are. They get distracted easily, much like me and you.
See that other group? There was a viral video. That other group, by the way, and there was like 3 of the boys, and they're like, "Timmy, why'd you rip that tail off that pig?" I'm just kidding. That video does not exist.
So, taking the little ones. I mean, and, even when we take the after schoolers, places, we're all the time.
They always have to be counted, and they're supposed to wear our shirts.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
very strict rules. So.
Yeah. Well, I can attest to that, and personal testimony, as I always share. My children have been doing so wonderful with Tomorrow's Promise. I want to encourage you, if you're looking for a place to take your child. And there's bumper stickers that used to say "Arrive Alive." If you want your children to come back alive, you need to get them at Tomorrow's Promise.
Don't even speak that into existence.
They will come back with a wealth of knowledge. My children have done so good. In fact, both of them been there since they were pretty much babies. Besides our little short 8-month reprieve when we left and went to Fargo, but they have been doing so well. And I want to encourage people this morning. Your parent, you're a guardian. Get your children plugged into Tomorrow's Promise. You will not regret the Montessori method. You will not regret the great work that Tomorrow's Promise does. And it's not easy. I'm a parent with 2 children, and it's not easy. And these folks go above and beyond. Especially, all the teachers are great. And I got to be careful because I don't want to make a teacher feel like they're not appreciated, because y'all have such great teachers. But I'm telling you, my Miss Ashley is so good with my little boy. He just loves her. He runs to her, and she just embraces him. And as a parent, that makes me feel good, knowing that my child is going somewhere where he doesn't run from the teacher. He runs to the teacher. And Braylon is the same way with Miss Avery. They talk about him. My little ones, I'm teaching them the importance of prayer. I'm not forcing them to pray, but I'm teaching them the importance of prayer. And I think a lot of times, we see young people that may even grow up in a church separate themselves from the church because they're forced into things. I want my children to understand why we pray and why it's important that we pray, and not force them or get upset if they don't want to. And so we've been doing that. And Braylon now half the time will pray. She leads the prayer now. And she always mentions our family. And then once a week or so, something will pop into her little head. And thank you for our teachers. And thank you for Miss Avery. And then Caden will say, and thank you for Miss Ashley. And so they're both doing that now. And that speaks high volumes, Kay, of how y'all run things there at Tomorrow's Promise. So thank you.
Children under the age of 5 know that God exists.
Mm-hmm.
It's grown-ups that teach them that he doesn't.
Yeah. Wow. Well, hey, that will wrap it up. 8:50. Any final comments? Been a fun one today. Thank you for having our good friend Stephanie, almost said Samantha again, Stephanie Smith on today. Maybe any final word today, Kate?
Well, you said arrive alive, so now I've got to tell you. Daycares, if you've got doggy daycare, you got adult daycare, you expect to pick them up alive.
Mm-hmm.
You expect them safe and sound. You don't expect them to learn anything. So,
That's the difference between Tomorrow's Promise.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Well, to say, don't take your child to a daycare. Take your child to an early learning center, a child care center, a school. Take them where they're going to learn. 90% of what we know today, 90% of brain development happens those first 5 years of life. So
that explains a lot about me.
Don't take them someplace where they're just going to sit in front of the TV and turn into vegetables.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, I've seen the effects of that. And it's...
Yeah. The kids in the restaurants are glued to those screens.
I'm going to say one thing, and I'm not judging any... I understand what a screaming child is like. But you know what? That's what they do. And you just have to understand that they're going to do that.
I do that.
And, boy, nothing irks me more than when I go out to eat and I see these cute little tablets that get them. I'm not, man, we're going to have a whole episode. That's a paid version of the show. I'm not judging your parents, but stop doing it.
Chick-fil-A is going to give ice cream to families that go in and don't have any screens.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. They're going to give a free ice cream cone to the family.
There you go. Well, hey, get them enrolled. Tomorrow's Promise. You can schedule that free tour. Go online, tomorrowspromise.info. 3 locations to serve all of you here in Walker County. As this county continues to grow, the school is going to continue to grow. Young people are going to continue to come in, and we are very excited about the future here in our county. That will wrap it up. Big thank you to our friends at Huntsville Memorial Hospital. They are our streaming partner, and because of their support, we're able to bring you this show across multiple platforms. Again, a big shout out to HMH. Of course, Elliot's Jewelers, online at elliotsjewelers.com for all of your jewelry needs. Go by and see my great friend, Elliot Herzick. And on this marvelous Monday, I keep thinking of like when Karen used to be on, with me from the Cred back in the day. Marvelous Monday. We are here with Tomorrow's Promise, and we couldn't provide the content. There's still this disconnect. I'll say this one last thing, that every time I talk to people, they're like, oh, the show. That's what people think of when they think of Hello Huntsville. Well, there's more to it than that. This is just our show, Good Morning Huntsville. But we want to encourage you to go to our website as well. You can find out all that's happening here in Huntsville online at hellohuntsvilletx.com. For Rick
and Rob
and Kay, I'm Rob Hipp, reminding you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. That will wrap it up. We'll be back at it tomorrow. And so join us. We'll also have lunch break on Spirit 94.3 at 11:30 today. So tune into that as well. So long, everyone. God bless you. Have a great day. See you, Rick and Kay.
Adios.